Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this roundtable meeting of the Michigan PR Group. We're on Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their summer. So I have a question to start us off, and then it will be open to the roundtable. I have a question. It actually comes from a group member. It's about signage. What are people's feelings about signage? Should you have a lot of it? Should you have a little of it? Is there too much? All right, we got a question. What kind of signage? Promoting programs inside the library or something outdoors? I was thinking this one for it outside of the library would be wonderful, but I can barely do that. So I was thinking inside the library.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
I can speak to how I feel about the signage. I think we do a great job. We have our main signage for programs at the main entrance, and they're, the large poster size. We usually have four of them lined up right when you come in the door. And I think we do a good job of placement of the signage so people can see it. But I spoke to this last time. I think we do make them a bit wordy, where they're not really, in my opinion, posters. They're just blown up flyers, and I think we could do a better job as a library, do a better job at making them more a poster type promotional thing than just a blown up news flyer, or that's my only issue with it. But I think we do a pretty good job of putting signs up around the library.
Yeah, I agree with you. As librarians in general and library workers, we all like our words. So,
Exactly.
We have a lot of digital signage inside the library. We have a TV behind our circulation desk that cycles through a set of slides. We have one in our seating area, and we also are going to be getting one in our youth section. We do have one in the teen area because that one switches back and forth between slideshow or gaming. We can hook it up to a Wii and let them play games in our teen area. But we just replaced our lobby slideshow, and instead of having it landscape like a regular PowerPoint, we flipped it so that it's vertical. And we've been putting only our main promotional programs like our concert series or our summer reading party right front and center, because we moved it so that now it faces our entry doors. It's the first thing people see when we come in. So we decided to pare it down a lot so that we didn't have it on the other ones. We scroll a lot of our programming because people might be standing at the circulation desk for a while. People might be sitting reading one of the papers in our seating area for a while. They might look up occasionally and see something new. But right there at the front doors, we only have a limited window of time to catch people. So we really pared it down and said just the big programs, or if somebody tells us one of their more expensive programs isn't getting the registration they were hoping and they'd like to promote it more, we stick that up there. So we just got it. We're Not sure long-term how that strategy is going to work, but that's something we're trying.
Great. I look forward to hearing, in the future if it's working for you, that we can all take tips from that. So, and Paige popped up on the chat that they're about to dive into more TV signage, and they're thinking of making some wordless videos to make it eye-catching. And she worries about whether it will be eye-catching or just blend in. I say go for it. Try it. It's a good, good way to see if it works. Worst case, you're not out any money. So, and I think, we're humans. We're attracted to movement. Video is where it's at. So. And then Rebecca popped in the chat here. They have a TV that they use for promotional programs and the occasional library joke. And that most people see our free Popcorn Tuesday slide through. Free is always, catches people's eye.
We have a TV behind our front desk. Is that what we're referring to? Sort of like a screen behind the desk with different slides going through?
We're just talking about signs in general. So electronic signs, print signs.
Mm-hmm.
See what works for others and what we can, use in our libraries.
It seems to go well for us. We'll create Deb usually will create something on Canva and pop it up there through the Roku, and it like works that way. And she seems to be happy with it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. That was that question actually came from a library science student who's writing a paper on it. So hopefully she can take this info from us and use that in her paper. And it's a good topic in general, too. All right. So I'll open it up. Who's got a question for the group on this July? And I'll come back. There's one more in the chat here from Rebecca about, she thinks signage is a fine line. You have a lot of people coming into the library, but not a lot of people always see the signage.
I'll have to check and see with our kids and teen librarians and see what they think. With what's going on with them and how they feel their signage works.
All right, Stephanie, you got a hand up. Oh, I think you're still muted. Nope, can't hear you yet. Oh, I can't hear Stephanie. Can anyone else? She's gonna type. Okay. To say, I do agree. I think it is a fine line to if you have too much signage, people won't look at it, but you need enough up there that addresses the questions,
Right.
And I always find if you're at a service desk and you're asked the same question over and over, that's a good indicator to that it's a signs needed about it. All right. So Stephanie said, unfortunately, her mic's not working. If you get it working, chime on in, but I'll pull it from the chat for now. So she's asking, what is everybody doing for summer reading finales?
We're doing Drum Unity. If anyone's ever done that, it's a drumming program. I have to say, I'm not planning it and I'm not exactly familiar with it, but I believe we've had it at the library, maybe not for summer reading, but just in general, and it's really, really popular. And it's our oh yeah, thank you, Natasha. Because yeah, it's really great, I've heard. And that's on a Saturday, I think. All the days are melding together.
Yep. So we've had drum unity at our library in the past, and they are fun. It's very interactive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ours is on the 31st of August.
Paige is doing a reptile day and a sidewalk book sale. Ooh, reptile day sounds fun. Not saying the sidewalk book sale isn't as fun, but you know, you get critters, and I always say animals equals people. You know, you want people to come have an animal program. Ooh,
Animals are
Natasha,
always popular.
ooh, for Natasha, their finale is at the Urban Air Trampoline and Adventure Park. Oh, that would have my kids wanting to participate in summer library program just for that invite.
Yeah. Where is that, Natasha? Okay, cool, cool. I'm gonna write that down. It's not too far from us.
Yep, and Jeff has crafts, games, food. They're taking over the entire library, and the Black and Brown Theater is coming to do an all ages performance. Oh, that'll be fun.
Perfect.
And
I will. Thank you, Natasha.
Yep.
Yeah, we are doing ours early. We started summer reading earlier, and we're doing it on August 3rd as our finale. Part of that is twofold. We like to give our youth librarians time to switch gears into public school outreach time, but also we're sort of at the epicenter of Woodward Dream Cruise madness, so we'd like to end with enough breathing space before that insanity.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That does take over for Dale that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't miss living on 9 Mile and staying home that weekend. So
Yeah, we're the coolest city to live in 51 weeks out of the year.
Yes. I know they block entrance to Mike because we're right in the Woodward corridor as well, between 11 and 10 Mile and the freeway, and they'll block entrance to the neighborhood off of Woodward. You'll have to go in through Coolidge or through 11 Mile. They don't want people parking all over the place. I mean, residents can park, obviously, but you know.
all right, so for our summer reading finale, we're doing a fire theme. We've got circus performers coming out that are doing, I think, fire dancing. But then on the flip side, our fire department is coming out. So they'll have the fire truck out there doing fire safety, sidewalk CPR, and tours of the fire truck. So
That's a great idea.
I'll have to check. I didn't hire the circus performers. I'll check and I'll get back to you, Natasha. So I'll send that out. I'll send it out on the listserv where we got our circus performers from. So
We're doing combined summer reading finale, and our building is now 5 years old. So we're doing a building birthday party at the same time. So we're kind of opening it up beyond just our summer reading participants and saying, hey, whether you were summer reading, whether you just use the library, come out, celebrate with us. We're getting climbing wall and bounce houses from Oakland County Parks. They did that for us last year and they're partnering with us again. So that's kind of fun. The climbing wall was a big hit last year.
We have our summer reading finale on August 6th, and we always do a touch a truck. So we have the vehicles from various city departments come. We have games and other activities. This year, again, is like we did last year, we're passing out pool passes to the city pool for people to take advantage of that. And then we purchased, well, I guess rented. We have a company coming out for a photo booth, so they're gonna handle all of that for us.
Very cool.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And got in the chat here from Stephanie, speaking of Detroit area, if anyone here is from the Novi Wixom area, that thank goodness the construction over there is terrible, but they did an expo that last weekend and it was so bad. So hopefully construction, construction isn't impacting summer reading or any other programming and just even attendance, because yeah.
It's gonna be wicked over there.
Yeah.
We have construction literally right outside our library. They have, you come down from M59 onto Elizabeth Lake Road, you can get to the library. You cannot get beyond the library because there are construction barricades stopping you. They are ripping out our road. They're putting in hopefully a new, like a town center is what they're trying to do, because our area was never a hub, like a railroad hub or a mill hub. So they're trying to reverse engineer a town, basically, like a downtown. The first things going in are combined police and fire and a new town hall. So we're going to have the fire department right next door, which might be kind of exciting. But also the kids might really like that. So here's hoping. But they're putting in a big roundabout to that side of us. So that's what they're working on right now. But as soon as they're done with that, they're switching to the other side of the road and ripping all that out. So by the time we get to the summer reading party, we might be bringing people in through a temporary drive set up at the wrong end of our parking lot.
Oh, no.
Oh,
We're really not sure. The rain has caused so many construction delays that we might still be accessible from M59 and Elizabeth Lake during early August, but we have no idea. So we're just kind of winging it, hoping for the best.
Can you remind me what library you're from? I'm sorry.
White Lake Township.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I
The
used to
White
live out
Lake
there.
above Detroit, not the White Lake on the west side, because we always get their Melcat books.
Right. So White Lake by Union Lake, all that. out there.
Yes, that
Yeah.
White Lake.
Yeah, I used to live there, so familiar. That could be a mess.
yes, we do all have, we have winter and then construction season here. And even sometimes we don't even get winter, it's just construction, so.
It's just construction.
And I did find out my youth librarian responded back, it's the Motley Misfits that are coming to our summer reading finale. So I put their link down in the chat there if anybody wants to look up getting circus performers. So haven't had them here yet, so I can't give them a review, but I can say that, so far all the lead up and the setup has been very positive. So
Oh, man. Anybody in here been following sorry to switch gears entirely. The Justice Department's, new Title II rule to ensure digital accessibility for government and public websites like us.
Yep, we're in the throes of that. I'm multitasking right now because Facebook's Meta Business Suite If you add the alt text in there, it does not actually post right now when the posts go up. So heads
Right.
up for that. I
Right.
don't know if it's just us or everybody. It worked for about 2 days after the new rule came out, then it stopped working. So now I have to go in after the posts update and add our alt text when they're actually up on Facebook, which is kind of annoying because I'm not always in the office when things are posting.
Mhm.
And I'm not clear whether or not they're gonna be mad at you if your Facebook's off. I think it's more like your actual website.
Yes, we went into the website before it actually went live with the new rules because we'd been hearing it coming down the pike, but I always wonder if somebody is going to realize that they can ding you for something just because they don't like libraries and come at you sideways because there's a law that allows them to do something using something reasonable to cause more trouble. So I'm covering bases, trying to make sure that we're ahead of the curve.
Mm.
Just in case somebody decides they want to cause us some trouble. Might as well not give them an opening to do it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay. I got new Bluetooth headphones, so I had to like do the settings. So for all that, on the Grand Ledge Area District Library website, which is gladl.org, we use Accessibee. It might be something that everybody might want to have their web people look into. It is a little bit more on the expensive side, especially for us since we're much smaller than many of you. But I feel like it's a worth it cost because if for whatever reason I forget putting in an alt tag or any kind of additional thing that needs to be put in, they will actually have something that generates that based on like image data that I put in there. So if it's a stock image site, they'll like take that image information and put it in. And if you check out our site, I'll link it below. There's a little icon in the bottom left that will show you all the accessibility options that it provides. We have like a WordPress site and it basically just is like I hate to say widget, it's more than that, but it's like a code that they put in there. And then there's it will like automatically turn the website for color blindness. It will dictate any alt text that you need. I mean, it's like every single thing that you could possibly need for accessibility, they offer it. So I will, yep, there we go, accessibee.com. So I recommend that. Just there are other options out there and there are less expensive options, but that's what we use.
We're just getting a new website. And so I've asked Deb about that, our director, and she's like, yep, they're all on that, you know, so it's kind of coming at a good time. Long awaited new website. So
Karen, are you going with a company or is it through like, are you government municipality or?
we're doing Revise, I believe.
Okay.
Revise we're using, and she tried a bunch of different ones, and that one, you know, she weighed everything, and you know,
Mhm.
for the money, that's the one that she felt was great for us.
Yeah, I've actually met with them as well. We are in desperate need here too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our person that handles our website has been on leave for almost 1 year,
Oh my
and
goodness.
our website has not been updated because no one has access to it.
Yes.
So it's been very difficult past year. So we started working with because I'm a municipality library, working with communications over there, and it's just taking so long, and the look of it is just not what I want it to be. And I met
Yes.
with Revise about a year ago and was pretty impressed with them. So it's I'm having a library board meeting tomorrow and kind of thinking that this may be the direction that we try to go to, especially with all of these new rules in place.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, I'm gonna double check with her. While we're talking, I'm almost positive it's Revised because I think I handle invoices and I think I've seen those go by, but I want to make sure. Because I've seen a few different names, but let me just text her real quick. but we definitely needed that. You know, you'd go through different tech people and then there's no shared code or, you know, everything like that. And then you kind of get to a point where you can't like change anything. And that's kind of where we were. And we're like, okay, no.
Yep, and then Adam chimed in that the state of Michigan uses Site Improve. And Adam, I was actually gonna see if you would be able to speak up, because I know the Library of Michigan and the state of Michigan are ahead of the curve on this, that you've been doing this for a while with like the alt text and the social media.
Yeah, because there was a lawsuit that said we had to.
Hey, you're still ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we are ahead of the curve, but we're also still like trying to remediate things that it's taking forever on. Like, I'll tell you right now, if you guys have PDFs on your website that do not meet accessibility standards, have fun. Because that's one of the big things that we're having to deal with like right now, of like all these PDFs that got created and never met accessibility, or all of the old URLs that are on them that no longer work. You have to remediate those on a PDF for it to stay live up on a state of Michigan website. So, and when we went through a whole migration, what, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. Yeah, that changed every single URL from the old website to the new one. And so all of that had to be changed, and we're still remediating that.
Is there a back date on that? Like if
Yeah.
a PDF is on your website, you don't have to update it if it's like before a certain time.
No, it has to be done.
Ooh.
Yes. And not only that, like there are things where, say, like, one of the things that I discovered was that, like, say I would delete something from our website that had a like a embedded URL in it or something like that. And if I didn't go and look at the HTML text to make sure that it was deleted from out of there, sometimes a link would get hidden within the code, and I had to go back into our accessibility site improve software to figure out, well, where is it at on what page, and that adds a whole other element of it. So yeah, because we have to be able to actually looking at our site improve page right now to see what it is, like making sure spelling is correct with links. It could be pages with broken links, links that PDFs with broken links, other different things. I'm sure there's other things that I'm missing too, but yeah,
Yikes.
there's still plenty of things that we're trying to do right now. And we even had it where we thought that like some of the PDFs that we were getting from our contracted graphic designer were meeting accessibility standards, and we found out that they weren't. So we've had to go back and try to figure out, well, how is it that we can remediate those?
That's a little nightmare.
And there's like 2 or 3 of us that are on this project, and I'm one of them.
Yeah. Now that's interesting, because I know like I know there was a webinar just after our last meeting. I think it was like the day after. They said in there that we didn't have to go back and do PDFs, but it could be different levels, state of Michigan versus
Yeah.
local
I would
library.
just say though that if you can do as much as you can now with PDFs, because if it doesn't meet the ability for a screen reader to read through it correctly, that could always be a potential problem. I saw you put Claire in there, and yeah, if you want that from that legal guidance, always talk with her. But from what we've had to deal with as far as like making sure that we meet the certain standard, yeah, it's been it's been fun.
Do you have any guidance from like how to start? Like, so if we're putting PDFs up now, how to make them accessible from the get-go so we don't have to go back and retro do them?
I would make sure that you have a version of Adobe that has an accessibility checker feature in it. And also, if you're like building something in Word before you convert it to a PDF, make sure that you use headings and try to have the readability figured out in that first, because sometimes when I've had it before where I've made something like Microsoft Publisher and converted it to a PDF, it didn't always translate correctly, but when it goes from like Word to a PDF, it works a little bit better. And that was just with like a trifold brochure that I made for our programs, but it kept confusing text with images.
And what did you say about links? Like, is it just a generality, like don't have links in a PDF moving forward?
No, you can have them in there. It's just that, so with how our links were set up on our website, it used to be that, so you'd have michigan.gov/library Michigan/2357/ blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, something like that. But if you go to, say, like, the family history section of our website, that numeric system that they used is all gone. And it's now a text-based, like, if you're not using the marketing URL, this would be what oops, if I can get it. Well, you can click on it and you can bring it up in your browser and you can see that it goes library Michigan/public/family-history. It's a nested kind of word version of that. But if I went into the Wayback Machine and did like that same thing, let me do that right now. And see if I can bring up that same URL and see what it would have been from like 2019.
While you look that up, I'll just catch up everybody that what's been in the chat. There were some questions about when the rules are taken are in place, but the compliance doesn't start for larger organizations. It's April of 24th, 2026 and April 24th, 2027 for smaller organizations. And that, there's been some discussion in the chat whether archival material has to be that's in PDF form has to be retrofitted. And I popped in there that, we should all wait for guidance from Claire Membiella, because, she'll have far better guidance than, what we know at this point. And that Steph Wamberg put in, she's from the Braille and Talking Library, and that accessibility is, huge for their patrons, and that, even she struggles to do stuff with the PDFs.
Gonna be a
Okay,
big
so I found that this would be what the old version of what our URLs would look like. And keep in mind, that was a 10-year-old or 15-year-old content management system that they were still using. And I'm sure a lot of libraries today are using something that is much more recent. Or if you're using the cloud pages, those probably had to meet a certain accessibility to, or at least they're supposed to these days. But yeah, that's what it was. And Yeah.
I have heard from my boss, from Deb, I call her my boss, that we are using, not to change the subject, I'm sorry, I just heard. We are using Revise, but we're using a different calendar. And I'm waiting to hear what system that is, but sorry to interrupt, but I just got that.
Well, good to know. So if anybody's thinking of using Revise, they could get a, recommendation, or, hopefully it's a good recommendation from you. So
Yeah. You're welcome, Stephanie.
well, Jeff, I hope that answers, start of the question. And I'm sure that's something, we'll be talking about here, both in the Michigan PR group and just in libraries in general, as we learn more about, making sure we're compliant, because accessibility is important.
Yep, I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing for us.
Yep. And Natasha has a question. Go on. Go ahead, Natasha. What is everyone doing for Library Card Month?
Oh.
Jumping ahead to September here.
Oh my gosh. I think we've been so swamped with summer reading, I'm not sure we've been thinking about it, but I'm glad for the reminder. I'm gonna bring that up when I go in
We-
today.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We're sending out a postcard. We reached out to a local artist and asked her to make some illustrations for us. So she's actually a professional animator too. Her cute little illustrations are gonna be all over our little postcard that we're sending out for that. Kind of excited
So
about it.
I've been thinking about something like that for a while. Who did you use, or how did you go about, planning something like that? Who are you sending it out to? Users, non-users?
The company we use for our print newsletter, which is First Impressions, they publish it and they send it out to all, 11,000 houses in our city. They're just gonna do the same thing, just put it in everyone's mailbox.
Natasha popped into the chat that idea is very cool. And then Rebecca popped in the chat that they have a sign via their friends that today I got my first library card for the kiddos, and then you can take a picture of them and then do some little fun around that. It is always fun to see kids with their huge smiles when they get their first library card.
Yep. So I heard from Deb, we're using the calendar company Library Market. And Troy Public Library has their calendar on a revised website if you want to see it in action, she says. But yeah, I'm gonna have to bring up Library Card Month. I'm sure Deb is thinking about it, but I've kind of had my my blinders on this summer for summer reading.
Yeah, we're gonna reach back out to our local brewery and try to get them to do another library themed beer for September. Hopefully that works out.
This is so cute, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing something similar for Library Appreciation Month in Michigan in October. We're gonna have another artist do some cool stuff for us. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That is a cool bookmark there. Or not bookmark, postcard.
Yeah, and I like that you differentiate them between, to a library patron, it looks like, and then the other one goes to a non-patron.
No, that's just the front and back side, but
Oh, front and back side. Oh, wow.
With first impressions, they don't really need any address, so they can let us fill up the whole space. Whatever we give to them, it's gonna go into every mailbox regardless.
Very cool.
And thank you for crediting the artist on that. I'm gonna look them up.
Oh, yeah. They've done some work for Adult Swim. They're really great. Um,
So Jeff, I'm not familiar with like the bulk city mailing like that, like how it goes through first impressions, like they have the city addresses and stuff, like the residents, or how does that work?
I wish I could tell you.
Okay. Cause
I wish I could tell you. We pay them a lot of money and then they do their magic.
and they do that, okay,
Yep.
okay. 'Cause, yeah, you know, cause we don't keep, I mean, obviously we have addresses for library cards, but we don't keep a list, you know, of the city residents and. I mean, this would be something that would work for us. We've got
I
like.
don't think they differentiate it much more than like just, maybe, God forbid to loop us in, but it's just sort of the political spam email you would get. They literally
Gotcha.
just give it to every postal carrier and then they go off on their.
Oh, okay, so like postal patron type
Yep.
stuff. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Well, cool, thank you.
Well, Jeff, you'll have to let us know how it works if you see a, pop up in library card sign up after those get mailed out.
Yeah.
This is also, I have to just give them a shout out. This is also the artist that helps us run our literary themed model drawing nights where we have a model dressed up in a literary costume and people will do sketches of them.
Oh, I love that when I saw that on your website.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. Did you put it on the chat? Oh, this particular artist. Okay.
Yeah, the same artist who did this stuff.
Very
They
cool.
They will facilitate it so that I don't have to be the one in front of an audience saying, all right, and now the model's going to stand still for 15 minutes in this pose. I will time you. And she does that for us. But she also surreptitiously goes to the side and secretly creates like incredibly impressive, cute drawings of the model while she's running the program.
Aw.
So we're gonna
That is
collect
impressive multitasking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So in September too, we're gonna collect everything she's done of those models and put them on display in the library.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I forget, what month did you do that program? Was it like around a certain month or just when
It's
they?
quarterly.
Quarterly, okay.
We're kind of all over the place. In August, we're doing a Westerns themed one, and then in October, we're having someone dress up like Mary Shelley.
Ooh, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a meeting if we don't see your kitty.
Yes, who's here? I was wondering if he was gonna show up. This is Benny, if you haven't already met him. He likes to take care of me and protect me from all of you. Okay, but
Good thing he's on the job.
okay, yes, here. All right. Okay, find a seat. Okay, sit. Let's sit down.
All right. Anyone else have any questions for the group today?
All right. It was mostly about summer reading and how it's all going. But I can't believe it's, the last month of it already.
Is anybody going to MLA this year?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I will.
Yay.
Kelly, moving forward for our meetings, are you gonna
Mhm.
have, try to get in contact with Claire for accessibility?
Yeah, that actually is a great idea. So I'll try that for, in the fall. So
Mhm. Where is it again?
Traverse City?
Yeah, Traverse City.
Oh. Then you know what? I was thinking of something else. When is it? I'm sorry, I sound so clueless.
It's the Third
October
week of November.
16th or 18th.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. It's not usually my purview. You know, it would be librarians or the director going, you know, but if it's in TC, we might just have to make an exception. Okay. We'll check.
All right. Well, no other topics today. I'll thank everybody for coming.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm actually gonna be out of town what will be our next meeting date, August 20th. So I'll give the group a choice if somebody else wants to lead, or we can skip August and then meet back in September.
I can leave it.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
No problem.
I'll send you all the details and all that. And
Great.
thank you
That's
very much.
August
20th.
16th? Okay, great. Sounds good.
Yep.
Not that I was wearing a watch or anything. Great.
And I'll send, I'll email out the details because I know if it's not in writing, we can't remember it.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Best of luck to
Thanks,
everybody with the
everyone.
summer reading finales. And I'll see everybody in September. And you'll meet it. I'll watch the recording in August. So
Great.
thanks.
See you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, guys.